All right. So I'm watching World. I'm not watching, I'm actually listening. I'm listening to the World of the World, or World of the World by Orson Welles and the Mercury Theatre. I always do kind of a Pinky in the Brain kind of imitation of him a little bit. But anyway, here, look at this though. My goodness, it's a major storm coming around and rain. I'm in the middle of delivery right now. Oh my gosh, that was so cool. If it'll do it again, the lightning was striking off the side of that building, the reflection of the lightning too. I wonder if it'll do it one more time. It was so cool. I missed it by just a few seconds. Oh wait, there's more right that way. Anyway, so I think my observation, I'm going to be probably analyzing the War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, performed by the Mercury Theatre, and Orson Welles, of course. The most brilliant broadcast of all times. More brilliant than any broadcast that's ever been broadcasting on radio for so far this century by far. And I will argue that hands down, and many people will agree with me. It is the most brilliant thing. I've only listened to about 10 minutes of it. The thing that I'm noticing about it is the sound effects are very sparse at the beginning. I haven't really actually at the very beginning there's no sound effects. Okay, it's just him talking. I recently watched Blackout with Rami Malek. I didn't watch it, I'm sorry. I listened to it. Sorry. I listened to Blackout with Rami Malek did it with another guy in Hollywood just recently, and they released it, and it's pretty good. But one thing I noticed about it was they used a lot of sound effects, a lot of music, and I think it was too much. Although Rami Malek is great, I think he's a great actor. I think he's got a wonderful voice, but I think that they basically overdid it with sound effects. So when I'm listening to Orson Welles and I'm listening to the Mercury Theatre, they used a lot of, like, I guess they had live music they were playing in the studio when they actually recorded it on the soundstage. So they also had physical sound effects that they're actually making with their hands. And I think that makes a big difference when the actor's making the sound effects with their hands or with a tool in the microphone than if it's just pressing a button and it's digitally done. I think it makes a world of difference, because what it is considered under Spotify is it is considered a song. Okay, it's considered music. And look at this right over here. It looks kind of scary there. There's some over that way. Anyway, it's a song. It's music. And I think that what Rami Malek did, I think it was done with a DJ, and it was probably a lot of that. I don't know how they exactly did Blackout, but I'm excited that Google Podcast had it on there, and I got to listen to it. And also, I think Apple iTunes has released it, or Apple Podcast has released it, and a few other platforms that released that have been used. That uses sound platform like Spotify and things like that. I'm sure it'll be on all the sound platforms online. But what I'm comparing Blackout with War of the Worlds, and the fact that for one thing, it's kind of an end of the world kind of story, and it's kind of supposed to be scary, but you can clearly tell Blackout is a broadcast. And the music is pre-recorded, so it's digital music being released. And I'm sure some of the sound effects are stock sound effect or stock footage. And I'm comparing the two. So I'm thinking the War of the Worlds, or the War of the Worlds, is it's using sound in a different way, and it's also using music in a different way too. So they're playing this music for like a broad. They're playing it in a studio, right? It sounds almost like a play, And it goes on for a while, so you're listening to the story, and then it gets interrupted by these broadcasts, and it's all these rhythms and the actors talking and stuff, and you start to be fooled that it's a real thing happening. And in what I've heard in New York, that it became such a panic and phenomenon. It was like people really believed that this was an actual broadcast. It made New York Times, and people thought there was really some kind of problem, that these aliens had landed, and that we were under attack, and all this stuff. And some people actually even committed suicide. They came to the point where they believed it so much, it invaded their imagination, that they actually killed themselves jumping off buildings and things like that. And one thing too is, it was at the end of the Dust Bowl, so people were already desperate during this time. So broadcasts were taken very seriously, and entertainment was very serious, because people needed entertainment in their life because they had nothing. They barely even had a cup of coffee. They were starving. So they were easily persuaded or brainwashed, or persuaded into believing that this was reality. And it was done very well. I don't think Orson Welles thought that it was going to trick everybody. I thought that he probably thought, hey, this is a broadcast about aliens. We don't even know if aliens really exist. But the panic that went across the nation is they didn't care. They sent out fire trucks to different locations where they weren't needed. Police were looking around for aliens that weren't there. People were walking around in big fields with shotguns looking for these aliens, that were not even there, because they needed to believe in something. They needed to believe, and they were putting their belief in this broadcast. And Orson Welles was just performing on a soundstage. He was just doing a show. He was a theater director, and he was just doing a show, that he thought he could do well, and he was just doing his job basically, and he fooled all these people. But anyway, Blackout was really good with Rami Malek. I thought it was the timing on it was really good. I thought the actors were really good. It kind of reminded me of a little bit of a video game. I thought Rami Malek was perfect for that role, and it was really well, because Blackout is about a DJ. So you get kind of you can listen to it very well because the DJ is talking in it. And so you're listening to a DJ give these broadcasts, and then the next thing you know, he's being involved in this end of the world thing, because electricity has come out. Electricity has gone out. There's a blackout across, I guess, the nation or something, and we don't really know what's causing it and everything. That's kind of what it's about. But anyway, I'm going to listen to The War of the Worlds, and I'll be commenting it later. The reason I'm listening to these broadcasts is because I'm about to do a radio show. Believe it or not, it's a romance, but I'm doing it as a radio podcast. I'm really excited. I did not know about Blackout, so I did not know Rami was doing this, and I didn't know that radio shows were coming back, and I hope that they do, because I love them. I'm on the road, and I'm sort of many people are probably on the road for work and things like that. But anyway, so that's what I wanted to say. Was I'm going to be posting Hidden Drive soon, which is based on a play I wrote called Homesickness, which I wrote about Maine, and it's a love story. It also involves an artificial intelligence program called Google Homebox, which is a fantasy program based on Google Home, but it's an advanced technology. So it's an advanced version of Google Home, and it's one of the characters that I'm trying to cast right now. I'm even looking for actors in New York for it. So we will be doing it in a small studio, and we'll be doing it very soon, in less than a month from now. And I'm getting ready for it. And this is probably one of the hardest things that I've prepared for ever. I'm exhausted. I'm literally exhausted trying to get everything edited, trying to get all the sound effects ready and everything. And I'm the only one behind this right now. I'm the director, I'm the producer, I'm one of the main actors. So I'm calling upon prayers, because it's very, very, very difficult to get all this right, because we're going to do it as a live broadcast. This is not going to be a prepared thing. I mean, it's going to be prepared, but it's not going to be a pre-recorded thing where we edit in sound effects. Everything will be done at one time. So whatever goes wrong, goes wrong. We go with it, just like a live broadcast. And we'll post it as such, too. I just missed an incredible lightning strike right there. Sorry, guys. But anyway, that's why I have this on, is I'm trying to see if I can get a lightning strike, because I'm going to turn it this way. But anyway, So anyway, I'm going to do this as like a live broadcast, and it's going to be done. Probably it's going to be done in 2 posts. So it'll be Act 1 and Act 2, but both will be done live, just like a live radio show that they did in the 40s and in the 30s and 40s and stuff. And it's going to be called it'll be something like the Soundcloud Studio Theater Group presents the staged reading of Hidden Drive by playwright Ash Cole, and then I'll give out the actors' names and things like that. Okay? And that'll be coming up in about a month. And you'll see it on SoundCloud, and I'll release it on major platforms. Goodbye.